Hi, everyone. Carmen Dinisco here, UIA TV. We've got an awesome show made in America with the king of manufacturing, the man of the hour, Mr. Christopher Guerrera. Chris, what's up, dude? I'm excited for today's show.
Yeah, Carmen, we got a great show. We have a great event coming up October 21st, the Inventor Showcase. So if you haven't signed up yet, please do. You're going to get a chance to pitch to some experts in QVC, HSN, All-Star Products with a chance to win a paid trip to do it live in Vegas on January 30th, 2023. Today's guest is special. Amron. He's the inventor of the press-on memo, which everyone knows as the 3M sticky pad, right? But that's great news. That's been around a while. It's an amazing invention. He's got a better one with the NFL. We'll talk about that a little bit today. And Alan also is helping the inventor community. He does so much. He gives back so much to the inventor community. He's going to be our keynote speaker for the event October 21st. So today we're going to talk a little bit about his background and what he has to offer in regards to our program. And he is just an all-around smart individual with a wealth of knowledge. Welcome, Alan. Glad to have you on the show today.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, so Alan's going to be our keynote October 21st. Let's talk about that a little bit, Alan. Let's talk about this yellow sticky pad that is now red, blue, green, pink, any color you want. How did you come up with that?
Well, it was like a happenstance. I needed to leave a note for my wife when I had just gotten married, and I needed to leave it on the refrigerator, which is where people leave notes for people usually. And there was no Scotch tape around. And I'm looking all over the house for Scotch tape or something to put it on the refrigerator with. And magnets in those days wasn't around. Obviously, pins you can't put into a refrigerator. And I wasn't going to use duct tape, which I had plenty of. I wasn't going to use duct tape on the refrigerator. So what I did was I was walking around looking for Scotch tape in all the drawers. I couldn't find any. I found some gum, spearmint gum. And I just put the gum in my mouth. And while I'm still looking for the Scotch tape, I'm chewing the gum and I'm thinking, this is pretty sticky. And I took a little ball of the gum and I took it out of my mouth and a little tiny little ball of the gum, and it was like very tacky. And I felt it was a little too tacky. So I rolled it around on the ground to get a little dust on it. And then I took it again and it was less tacky. Then I put it on the refrigerator. I wrote the note. In those days, we called it memos, not notes. I wrote the memo and I pressed it onto the refrigerator and I tugged on it and it stayed. So when my wife got home, she looked at it, she saw the note, took it off, put it on, took it off. She thought it was really cool. And so from that point on, I started developing a non-sticky, sticky glue that would allow people to reposition it onto different surfaces and not ruin the surface. And then a couple of years later, when I showed it to 3M, they came into an inventors booth that I had at the Sheraton Hotel in Manhattan. They had like about 50 or 60 inventors, and everybody had like 10 by 10 booths. And that was the first time I ever went to an inventor show, and I brought my invention there. And the news came around and saw my battery operated water gun that I invented and thought it was really cool and put it on the local news, but they completely ignored the press-on memo sticky note. Everybody did. Nobody liked it. Nobody cared about it. They all said, who cares? Putting glue on a piece of paper, who cares? Anyway, finally, two guys walk up in suits. Now, remember, I'm a young guy. I'm 20-something years old. In those days, we didn't wear suits usually. So two guys with suits walk over and they give me these really beautiful, in those days, you got to talk 1972 and 3, to see a color business card with 3M on it was it blew me away. I thought this was it. That was, my life was made at that point. They liked the sticky note. They wanted samples. They wanted to know how I made the glue. They wanted to know how I made the pads. And they took samples back and they brought it back to 3M. And that's the way it all started.
Isn't that crazy? As an engineer out of college, I couldn't live without those things. And never even thinking like, who came up with this? And, I just looked at it as something I needed. I had stickies everywhere. I'm a Lean Six Sigma guy. You know what we do with those, right? Everything we do is with stickies on the wall, our value streams, our process flows. So here it is. Here's the man who came up with it. What a cool invention. So I mean, everyone uses it, right? It's been around so long. So that's
I
really,
use it too. People ask, do you use it? I've been using it before you were using it. I was using it.
Yeah, absolutely. I still use it. Okay, so let's talk about something even cooler. So I'm a huge football guy. I'm a sports guy. I love baseball, basketball, football, hockey. I'm a Vikings fan for a long time since I was 7 years old. And so I love the NFL, but I always find, man, like my biggest complaint, if there is any, we enjoy watching the game. It's always a game of inches, right? We always hear that, a game of inches. And what do they have? Who do they use to mark the first downs in a game of inches? Two guys with this chain. It looks as antiquated as it gets, right? Like all the technology in NFL, these safety protocols, the helmets, how every single rule and every camera angle, the technology is off the chart. And they got two guys using a chain to mark the first down. Well, Alan, let's talk about that. You're going to change that world.
Yeah, well, a number of years ago, I invented this system. I saw the yellow line on TV like everybody else does, and they're able to see where the game is going. They watch where every play goes to a first down. If it makes the first down, it goes to the next one, to the next first down, and then until you get a goal. Goal is not as important as a first down in football, yet the goal line is visible, but the first down line's not. So what I did was I thought the yellow line was actually on the field when I first saw it on TV. And when I found out it wasn't, I said, well, that's crazy. How do people in the stadium watch the game and know where the first down is? They got to look at the sidelines and see where the markers are. It's very difficult. Also for the players, how do they know? So what I did was I started working on it. And then at the time, I was a signatory agent with the Writers Guild. I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but that means that I represented people that wrote books to Hollywood production companies. And so I got a call from a guy who was an FBI agent by the name of Mike Burns. Mike Burns had a book that he wrote that he wanted me to show it as a script to Hollywood. So Mike said to me, can you represent me? And I said, yeah, it was very interesting. And it just happened to have been the right time when I invented the first down laser line. And I said, and I found out Mike's sister is married to Pat Summerall, the guy who was the voice of the NFL. I mean, you can't go higher than that, you know? So I called up Mike and I said, Mike, can I show my newest invention to your brother-in-law, Pat Summerall? And he said, absolutely. Pat's going to be in New York tomorrow with my sister, Cherry, and go up to the hotel room. He's waiting to see you. I'll call him and set it all up. And he did. I showed it to Pat. Pat loved it so much. I demonstrated it for him on the floor of his suite, of his hotel suite. And he said he loved it so much that he called the commissioner of football at the time, who's not the same commissioner now, but he was the commissioner of football then, called him up and said, when is your next competition committee meeting? I want Alan Amron there to demonstrate what I think is going to revolutionize the game of football. And they made the appointment. And the next day I flew to Florida, the west coast of Florida, and I went to meet with the competition committee. And there were 4 or 5 owners there. The Giants owner was there. A couple of the owners, the head officials were there, and a couple of coaches were there. I demonstrated to them. I blew them away. They loved it. They wanted me to come back to their next meeting, which happened on another 2 or 3 weeks after that. And I was like in this whirlwind in the first few weeks of showing it to Pat Summerall, where the NFL was all over it.
Yeah, so I can't even imagine the level of work involved with getting it to that point, just to get these guys to look at it and believe it. So what do you think it's going to end up in the NFL? I know you got some works in with doing it and demonstrating it in some of the other programs.
The NFL kept saying to us, and Roger Goodell as well, he wasn't the commissioner then, but he was in the meeting with us. Roger Goodell said to me and Pat Summerall that do it in the European Football League, which in those days, the European Football League was like their farm team. And so we were ready to do it in the European Football League, and that following year, they disbanded. Then we were going to do it in the USFL. They disbanded. Then we were going to do it in another league that started up, and they disbanded. None of these leagues lasted long enough for us to get a demonstration in, which is what the NFL wants to see. They want to see it in a game first, and then they'll put it into a preseason. So right now we're working with the USFL and Fox, and we're trying to get them to put it in their next season games, which are going to be broadcast on Fox and NBC.
Well, I'll tell you what, Alan, this is going to take off when they see it. Because they think about just sports in general, football, just football. Think about how big it is. I mean, you go to college, high school levels, all of it. They're all using the same old, inefficient technology. So this will be a game changer for sure. So one last thing, Carmen, I want to talk about a little bit. and we'll lead this into the bigger event for October 21st, is Alan's project, the Amron project. Maybe Alan, you can talk about that a little bit, how you give back to the inventors, how you're trying to help them, and you have really a good eye for new inventions. And I think it's outstanding what you want to do here.
A lot of inventors always send me their ideas and they expect me like to love it and to invest in it and to do all this other stuff. So what I started to do is, okay, if I like something an inventor sends me, I'm gonna develop it for them to the point where I have partners. I have David Greenbaum, who's my partner that does the PDFs and the advertising work and the video. And I have Iveta Saxone, who does our design work and helps us work with names and trademarks. And then we have patent people to help us if the people don't have a patent yet. So I started the Amron project, where an inventor could email me at alanamron@yahoo.com. I could sift through the inventions and I could tell them if I like it or I don't like it. If I like it, it means I want to do it for them and work with them on it. If I don't think it's worth investing time, I'm not looking for money from anybody. I'm looking just to invest my time and my people's energy in making something to sell their invention. And if they like what we're doing, I'll give them a couple of weeks to decide. I'll ask them for a small percentage of what they're going to get in return for giving them everything as far as the PDF. We'll help them file for the patents. We'll help them do a video demonstration of it. And I will personally call the presidents and CEOs of the companies that would possibly license their idea in those industries to try to get them a license for it. I'm not looking for any of the inventors that are going to bring us stuff that we're going to, that they want to manufacture themselves. I'm not interested in getting into manufacturing. But I feel this will help an inventor that's just starting out. Don't sell your house, don't mortgage your cars, don't mortgage everything and try to put all your money into this thing. Let me look at it first. And if I believe it's worth that, don't do it anyway. I'll invest my time and our effort to get it to where you need it to go.
Yeah, what a great gesture, Carmine. I mean, this is great for our lead into October 21st, right? We have great panels. Alan will be a keynote speaker. We're going to give inventors an opportunity to pitch live to QVC, HSN, and All-Star Products. And Alan has a program now to also upfront help the inventor. I can tell you from my standpoint, if I had known this way back, because I'm a manufacturing guy, right? I had to learn the marketing and then really build a network and really grow my worth by working my butt off, getting into retail, right? Getting to Walmart, having plants that are audited by Walmart. I mean, Alan's willing to give his time right up front, which I think is amazing. I would have absolutely used his support and his service. So this is great. Sign up October 21st. It's coming up a couple of weeks. Great event that's going to lead to a really huge event at the National Hardware Show in 2023.
Awesome, man. Alan, thank you so much. I don't think it might not settle in, but inventors that are listening to this, I don't know if it's going to settle in. Bringing your experience, your knowledge, the people your contact list, and making a personal call for a product and putting your name on it is priceless. So a small percentage or whatever percentage is well worth it. And I hope inventors are realizing that.
Are we live? Because I'm getting emails now from people.
Yeah. We're not live, but I believe it.
I am. I'm getting emails from people.
Yeah, I emailed a couple of people when we were doing this pre-show, so you might be getting to. And as we said earlier, I think you
get a lot more
dated with this.
Yeah, we get 80 to 100,000 downloads a week, so you're going to get a lot of emails.
And I'll let you know how many I get.
All right.
So, all right, listen. Chris, Alan, thank you so much for today. Awesome stories. Love hearing at it. Not only the sticky notes, that story, which we want to get into a little deeper, which is just awesome. Just some of your other experiences, obviously read your book, so much interesting things, your new projects you're working on. I can't wait to talk about that, expand on it more at our show on the 21st. I think it's going to be awesome. All you listeners out there, thank you for listening in, and we will catch you next time on Made in America, Mr. Christopher Guerrera. You all take care.